In the previous video on Father Wound's Healing Guide, emotional freedom technique was mentioned as the great tool to help you release emotional blocks and heal from within. Since trauma shock can impact a person's body greatly in negative ways, many trauma survivors often use EFT as a way to help them relieve internal energy blocks and soothe their uneasy emotions. In this video, we'll talk about how the emotional freedom technique works, why you should use this effective method to help you release emotional blocks, and actual ways to use it on yourself right in the comfort of your space. Stay tuned. In the book, The Body Keeps Score, Bessel van der Kolk states, traumatized people chronically feel unsafe inside their bodies. The past is alive in the form of gnawing interior discomfort. The trauma shock creates emotional wounding within us that blocks and prevents the energy flow regularly. Many people often don't know how to come out from the suffering state of anxiety, depression, and negative emotions because they never learned self-soothe methods or were properly nurtured in childhood. And because we don't understand how to regulate our emotions or the importance of trauma healing, we often run away from our emotions, deny our feelings, and go into the negative cycle of suppressing or denying them. When negative emotions are left untreated, unhealed, or neglected, they will often manifest into bigger problems like behavior problems such as addictions, self-sabotage, relationship problems, health-related illness, or even leads to cancer. Energy healing. Energy healing is the holistic practice to remove trapped energy blocks within our body so they can flow through freely. Part of energy healing is to learn to process our emotions and understand what we need. Living mindfully is about allowing ourselves to live in the present moment. This means a person can feel emotions as they come, acknowledge them, embrace them, and learn to appreciate them because it's our inner compass telling us what is important to us, what needs to be healed, our core values, and using the feelings of our emotions to be a powerful tool to manifest our dream lifestyle, instead of seeing it as something to be suppressed or neglected. For this, you can check out our video on Neville Goddard, Feeling is the Secret to Manifest Your Dreams into Reality. When we learn to regulate our emotions that range from positive to negative, we become the master of our mind, body, and spirit, which allows us to be the creator of our reality, as opposed to being the reactive victim who is helpless to our circumstance. This requires one to learn to embrace emotions and allow the energy to flow. To heal our emotional body and to release emotional blocks within our body, it's important to seek professional help, a therapist, and also learn effective energy healing methods we can perform on our own. Emotional freedom technique. The emotional freedom technique, also known as EFT, was created by Gary Craig in the early 1900s, and it's one of the most recommended methods to help a person become aware of their internal emotional blocks and learn to process them constructively. EFT uses a similar concept to the acupuncture pressure point, where one taps the meridian points on the body to process and heal the troubling emotions, past negative memories, or unpleasant triggers recorded by our body. As we acknowledge and process the negative emotions, limiting beliefs, or other troubling memories along with tapping, the cycle helps signal our brain that it is safe to feel the unpleasant emotions. We can desire a certain outcome despite our unpleasant emotions, and how we can transform our inner pain to appreciation and gratitude after we process the trapped emotions. The EFT meridian points includes karate chop area on the side of the hand, top of the head, center of the brow bone, side of the eyes, under the eyes, top of the lip, chin area, chest area just below the collarbone, and the side of the chest, one hand under the armpit. The EFT process begins with having the script created by the person who wants to address a specific problem such as anxiety, insomnia, depression, etc., and rates the problem from 1 to 10. The first part will start with a beginning statement to address and identify the problem. The second part is to identify what the desired outcome is. The next is to repeat statements to allow yourself to manifest your desires. And then the last phase is on expressing love and appreciation. The beginning point starts at the karate chop area, then to the center of the brow bone, and works through the cycle to the top of the head, and repeat until all statements are completed. Each statements are repeated 5 to 7 times, along with tapping the meridian points, until the rating of the blockages such as fear, judgmental thoughts, and inner pain is lessened to 0. The tapping and the statement repetition help the person process the emotions through the cycle of acknowledgement, release blockages, and form new positive affirmations. Let's go over an example of how to perform the EFT process together so you can practice at home. The EFT process. Let's say we want to address the awful anxiety we experience when giving a speech. We would first write the top 3 statements for the karate chop area to something like, even though I experience awful anxiety when giving a speech, I still deeply love and accept myself. Even though I feel like I'm not good enough in anything, I'm open to being more compassionate and less critical of myself. Even though I don't know how I'm going to overcome my anxiety, I intend to come into alignment with my higher self. Then, we move on to round 1 of acknowledging the pain, discomfort, and anxiety, along with tapping 5 to 7 times to each acknowledgement statement, working from the eyebrow bone area and tapping until we're on the top of the head. Eyebrow. I don't know how I'm going to give a speech. Side of the eye. I'm experiencing so much anxiety. Under the eye. My anxiety is taking over me. Under the nose. I hate having anxiety. Chin. I don't know how I'm going to give a speech with a terrible anxiety. Collarbone. But it's not my job to know how. Underarm. I just need to know what I want. Top of the head. I want to deeply love and accept myself despite having anxiety. After the pain is fully acknowledged in round 1, we move on to round 2 to state our desires with I want statements, which would be something like, I want to release my anxiety. I want to feel worthy despite my anxiety. I want to look and act with total confidence, etc. After the desire has been fully stated in round 2, we move on to round 3 to allow ourselves to manifest our desires with I allow myself to statements. They would be something like, I allow myself to release anxiety around giving a speech. I allow myself to let go of all my anxieties. I allow myself to be in harmony with giving a speech, etc. After we permit ourselves to manifest our desires in round 3, we move on to round 4 to express love and appreciation with I love statements. They would be something like, I love letting go of my anxiety. I love feeling confident around giving a speech. I love manifesting success with ease, etc. And it would be effective to close the whole EFT process with a statement, Thank you, universe, for sending me a team of spirit guides, angels, and ascended masters to surround me with love and light. After you go through the full cycle, you'll want to feel how the problem has been reduced. Ideally, little or none would be the best result, and that you are at ease with yourself despite the problem. As you see, the EFT method is very easy to do by yourself and can be performed whenever needed. It's a great way to self-soothe and release any tension or emotional blocks that are bothering you. To learn more about EFT tapping therapy, you can check out the book, The EFT Manual by Gary Craig, and The Tapping Solutions by Nick Ortner. The great thing about EFT is that you can use it for just about anything you want to acknowledge and release. This may include addictions, healing memories, processing any negative emotions, weight loss, confidence building, remove money blocks, and so much more. To get a template of the EFT you can use at home, you can go to the Magic Atelier Pinterest board to download it, and the link is in the video description below. Now that you learn about EFT and how to do it, you can start working on it yourself and spark your inner magic. Energy healing is a part of our self-care and wellness responsibility. By allowing ourselves to feel and process the emotions in a constructive way, we master our emotions and befriend our bodies. With a calmer inner world, you manifest peace and tranquility in your outer world as well. If you find this video useful, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing our content with people you like. Until next time, befriend your body and take care of yourself. The world will be a better place when everyone taps into their divine power.